Yeah, you got it.
Hello, everyone. Before diving into the impact wild boars have on humans, let's explore how Americans are leveraging innovative technology to prevent and control this animal. Over the years, wild boar incursions have been fought, but in Central Texas, a team of researchers from Texas A&M University is leading the campaign. Their mission is to combat the relentless increase in wild boars through remote-controlled traps and drone surveillance, employing science and strategy in their high-tech approach. They have considered everything, from genetic dispersal models to state-level policy coordination, to ensure that their control efforts are implemented with the highest impact and efficacy. The researchers are now collaborating with state wildlife agencies to refine best practices and are requiring specific permits for experimental deterrents far from residential zones to ensure that the methods are legal and ethically sound. Researchers carefully prepare experimental chemical attractants, including synthetic pheromones or specialized food mixes, and place them near sites where wild boars frequently visit, such as watering holes and trails they often pass through. The agents are dispersed both inside and outside new automated feeding stations to draw them in. Scientists will continue to monitor the pigs' reactions in that area for 1 to 2 days to ensure that the boars become familiar with the novel substance and will willingly enter when remote sensing equipment is set up. Made from durable polymer compounds and reinforced with internal wiring, these deterrent fences are designed to withstand the brute force of a wild boar. Engineered for efficiency, the installation requires 2 researchers working together, but it's simple enough that just one person can set it up. The true ingenuity lies in its smart technology. Equipped with thermal and motion sensors, researchers can monitor activity along the perimeter in real time. Once the wild boars approach the boundary, the operators can activate the remote-controlled sonic barrier with the push of a button, ensuring the animals are safely repelled. This type of sterilization program differs from other traditional methods as it features biomarkers that allow targeted animals to be treated without any immediate sign. Reports from 2024 show that researchers across the South can effectively neutralize the reproductive capacity of hundreds of wild boars each week, depending on the area and the reproductive cycle. With these methods, scientists don't need to worry about aggressive confrontations, as the agents are delivered through remote-activated feeding stations. The federal government also offers a nationwide bounty program for documented removals, providing an incentive for citizens to collect wild boars in order to protect the environment and reduce the economic damage caused by the growing wild population. For the people of Texas, controlling wild boars is not just about physical capture. It's a matter of determination to analyze data deep within complex systems. The whirring of drone propellers and the sound of code being compiled signal the start of a tense pursuit. For this researcher, modeling requires meticulous preparation. He is equipped with specialized algorithmic knowledge to methodically follow the digital footprint of his prey. The tension rises as the analyst gets closer to a breakthrough. Every variable is calculated, and every sensor reading reveals the target's position. With patience, a precise system activation marks the climax of the tension and the victory. The deployment pays off as each successful remote activation secures a wild boar in South Texas. The operator's focus sharpens as the system spots the target group just steps away from the feeding area. With everything seemingly aligning, the optimal coordinates, strategically placed deterrence, and favorable signal strength, success seems almost certain. It looks like the analyst's patience and precise modeling paid off in the end. The challenge of predicting behavior, the sudden unpredictability of genetic response, and the precision required for biocontrol make it an intense and rewarding experience. If you're into data analysis for wildlife control, leave a comment with number 2. But if you'd prefer a biological control approach, go ahead and leave number 5. Especially over the past decade, autonomous tracking drones have played a crucial role in tracking wild pigs in Texas. The drones typically undergo 12 months of algorithmic refinement under the guidance of data scientists and AI specialists to ensure their efficiency and precision. Female wild pigs are often larger than the average target, making calibration essential to prevent detection failures. Regulations limit the drone's operational flight time to 4 to 6 hours per deployment to prevent battery exhaustion or system overheating, in accordance with the state's digital asset policies. The swamp areas of East Texas, such as the Big Thicket National Preserve, are among the most popular wild pig monitoring sites for remote sensors. These environments, with dense brush and water sources, present a challenge even for the most experienced AI analysts. Leading the data stream is a primary sensor unit that identifies and directs attention toward the wild pigs, while 2 other peripheral sensor nodes use their readings to triangulate and control the wild pigs. The central algorithm takes charge when necessary to isolate and track them. You might wonder how researchers manage autonomous devices in such a vast landscape. They rely on satellite navigation and high-speed telemetry to track the robot's positions. To protect the equipment, the policy requires at least 3 drone units to participate in each deployment to ensure system redundancy and minimize data loss when facing the massive wild pigs. The drones are not allowed to operate without ground control backup, as doing so could lead to sanctions or suspension of the project's permits. The question is, why are they considered an invasive species? On June 12, 2024, they disrupted the ecosystem again, severely damaging 15 acres of native wetlands, causing $400 million in ecological cleanup costs in a single event. The sensitive habitats were rooted up, leaving conservationists looking at the devastation in disbelief. But it's not just plants and soil structure. They also contaminate water sources and displace native wildlife. This is not a random act. It's a calculated form of destruction. With their high mobility and capacity to carry zoonotic diseases, they also invade suburban areas, contaminate the water supply, and in Texas, where the wild boar population is growing at an alarming rate, they pose a significant risk to public health. So why has the situation gotten this bad? To better understand the scale of this crisis, we need to go back to the beginning. It wasn't just the storm of 1983 that shook the United States, but the aftermath when their containment areas became compromised and they aggressively expanded their range. A quiet disaster began. These creatures, now encountering minimal predation, found everything they needed to thrive: food, water, and shelter. Wild boars can rapidly adapt their diet and breeding cycle within a few months under favorable conditions, and these were the perfect conditions. By the time they are 6 months old, wild sows will start breeding, with litters of up to 13 piglets multiple times throughout the year. Wild boars are genetically diverse, but their rapid phenotypic plasticity makes up about 85% of their survival strategy. High protein sources or other types of food scarcity trigger a large portion of their behavioral adaptation in the winter when food is scarce. Wild boars accelerate their generational turnover and consume more types of novel resources. These are the factors that make them highly invasive and adaptable to different environments. Since remote surveillance and AI modeling in Texas have become more organized, data analysis and predictive control have emerged as a market-dominating approach, praised for their accuracy and ethical sustainability. The integration of these technologies has provided an economic boost to control efforts, turning challenges into opportunities. From research institutions developing new algorithms to local agencies incorporating real-time data into management plans, every bit of information feels like a victory in the pursuit of sustainable conservation. This cycle of monitoring and mitigation fosters community cooperation and innovation, balancing environmental protection with data-driven decision-making. If you've ever experienced high-tech control methods for wild boars in Texas or have thoughts on its significance, feel free to share your data or questions in the comments below. We would love to hear your thoughts. Thank you for watching the entire video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more insights into innovative conservation strategies. These methods have helped stop the ecological disruption caused by this invasive species. If you have any ideas for community-driven or biological solutions, feel free to share your thoughts in the comments so we can discuss them together. Thank you for staying and watching the entire presentation. If you like this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel for more deep dives into conservation biology. And be sure to tell your friends about us so they can check us out too. Goodbye and see you in the next video.